Welcome to Oak Tree Stories, timeless tales rooted in India. Here you'll find gentle, thoughtful tales drawn from our rich storytelling traditions, from ancient fables and folklore to heartwarming slices of modern Indian life. Each story is carefully chosen and lovingly crafted to be age appropriate and calming, with just a touch of wonder. So come, get cozy, and let the story begin. Hi, I'm Shalini, your storyteller. Before we begin today's story, I'd love to tell you about something special from Oak Tree Stories. Have you ever imagined stepping inside a story yourself? And what if the hero of the adventure had your name? What if the story took place in your favorite park, your grandparents' village, or even your own home? At Oak Tree Stories, we create personalized stories where children become part of the adventure themselves. Each story is lovingly crafted around the child, their interests, and the people and places they love the most. If you'd like a personalized story created especially for your child, visit www.oaktreebooks.in/Oak Tree Stories to learn more. And now for today's story. Have you ever wondered how the world began? People all over the world have been asking that question for thousands of years. Some imagined giant trees. Some imagined magical birds. Others imagined mountains rising from the sea. Today's story tells of a tiny earthworm who set out to do something that even the strongest creatures could not. This beautiful creation story has been shared by the Santal people for generations. So come on, find a comfortable place, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Long ago, before there were forests, before there were mountains, before rivers flowed across the land, before there were villages or fields or even a single tree, there was only water. Water as far as anyone could imagine. Deep, endless water. And watching over it all was Thakurjiu. High above the endless waters flew two wild geese. Their names were Huss and Hussil. Day after day they flew, but wherever they looked, there was nowhere to land, nowhere to rest. One evening, as the sky slowly turned gold, Huss gave a tired sigh. "My wings are growing weary." "So are mine," said Hussil. "If only we could find a place to rest." They flew on. One more day, then another. Still, there was only water. Thakurjiu heard their tired cries. He called to all the creatures who lived beneath the waters. One by one they came. The great crocodile, the mighty fish, the giant tortoise Hararaj, crabs with their hard shells, creatures both large and small. Soon they all gathered before him. Thakurjiu looked upon them kindly. "Our friends have flown for many years," he said. "They need a place to rest." Then he asked, "Can anyone bring land out of this endless water?" The great crocodile stepped forward at once. "I will." And with a mighty splash, it disappeared beneath the waves. Everyone waited. Huss and Hussil circled tiredly overhead. Time passed. Then at last, the crocodile rose from the water. Its jaws were empty. I could not reach the bottom, it said. A great fish swam forward. I will try. Down it went into the deep. The creatures waited once more. But when it returned, it too had nothing. One after another, the creatures tried. Some dove swiftly. Some stayed beneath the water for a very long time. But one after another, they all returned empty-handed. At last, the waters grew still. No one stepped forward. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then, from the very back of the gathering, came a tiny voice. I would like to try. The creatures turned. Waiting quietly behind them all was the smallest creature they had ever seen. An earthworm. His name was Lendet. The great crocodile blinked in surprise. You? Lendet nodded. I would like to try. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Thakurjiu looked at the little earthworm. Go, he said. Lendet bowed his head, and without another word, he slipped beneath the water. The creatures waited. Huss and Hussil circled high above. The great turtle Hararaj floated quietly upon the endless sea. Time passed. Then a tiny head appeared above the water. Lendet had returned. In his mouth was the smallest mouthful of mud. Very gently he placed it upon Hararaj's broad back. No one said a word. Then Lendet disappeared beneath the water once more. Again he returned. Another tiny mouthful of mud. Again he slipped beneath the waves. Again he came back. Another tiny mouthful. The crocodile watched. The great fish watched. Huss and Hussil circled overhead. The sun rose. The sun set. Days passed. Still, Lendet did not stop. Little by little, the tiny mound upon Hararaj's back began to grow. A little higher, a little wider, until one day it rose above the water. The first land. Huss looked down in wonder. Hussil, look! For the very first time, something rose above the endless sea. Lendet continued his work. Another mouthful, then another. Soon the little patch of land was no longer just a little patch. It grew wider and stronger. The waves washed gently against its edges. One morning, something remarkable happened. From the fresh earth, a tiny green shoot appeared. No one had planted it, yet there it was, small and bright, reaching towards the sky. Each day it grew a little taller. Its roots stretched into the new earth. Its branches reached higher. Its leaves opened to the light. Before long, it had become a great karam tree. Its branches spread wide above the newborn land. Huss smiled. At last! Together, Huss and Hussil glided down from the sky. For the first time ever, their feet touched the earth. They rested beneath the great karam tree. Then they gathered little twigs, tiny leaves. Working side by side, they built a warm nest among the branches. When the nest was ready, they settled inside together. "This is home," whispered Hustle. Hus looked around at the wide waters, the new land, the great karam tree, and smiled. "Yes," said Hus, "home." The days passed peacefully. High above the new land, Hus and Hustle cared for their little nest. There they laid 2 eggs. Day after day they kept the eggs warm. The gentle breeze swayed the branches of the great karam tree. Below them, Lendet's land stretched a little farther each day. The waves lapped closely at its shores. The world was slowly taking shape. Then one bright morning, a tiny sound came from the nest. Crack! Hus looked up. Hustle held her breath. Another little crack, then another. The shells slowly opened. From the first egg came a little boy. From the second egg came a little girl. Thakurjiu looked upon them with love. The boy was named Pilchu Haram. The girl was named Pilchu Budhi. They were the first man and the first woman. Hus and Hustle watched over them from their nest. The great karam tree spread its branches above them. Hararaj carried the land upon his broad back. And far below the earth, Lendet still continued his work. The little patch of land grew wider. The world grew richer, and life had begun. And that was the story of the first land. This story comes from the Santal people, one of India's largest indigenous communities. Like many communities around the world, the Santals have lovingly passed down stories that help explain how they believe the world came to be. One of the things I love most about this story is that it reminds us that every creature has a place. The mighty crocodile tried to help. Hararaj patiently carried the growing land. Hus and Hustle brought new life into the world. And it was little Lendet, the earthworm, who quietly kept going, again and again and again. Sometimes even the smallest acts can change the world. If you enjoyed today's story, we would love to see what it inspires you to create. You can send us your drawings, paintings, crafts, costumes, Lego creations, writing, poetry, music, or any other artwork inspired by one of our stories through the art submission form on our website at www.oaktreebooks.in/oaktreestories. We will give you a special shout out in a future episode and share your artwork on our social media pages. And if you would like to support Oak Tree Stories, grown-ups can also make a donation through our website. Every contribution helps us continue creating gentle stories inspired by the rich storytelling traditions of India. And don't forget, you can ask a grown-up to follow Oak Tree Stories on social media so you never miss a new story. You can find us both on Instagram and Facebook at Oak Tree Stories. This episode of Oak Tree Stories was brought to you by Shalini, Shannon, and Sushma. Until next time, keep listening, keep wondering, and remember, sometimes the biggest beginnings come from the smallest of creatures.